SSM reviewing GISBH subsidiaries' business registrations. Malaysia committed to strengthening digital collaboration. Well, salam Malaysia Badani. I'm Mohammed Amin Carlos and you're watching Malaysia Tonight. Well, serious and coordinated action by the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, JAKIM, and enforcement agencies is essential to address and eradicate deviant trends that diverge from the teachings of Ahli Sunnah wal Jama'ah. The Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, emphasized that the Madani government is committed to tackling all forms of deviant ideologies that threatened the beliefs and practices of Muslims in Malaysia. Well, the matter was conveyed during the Prime Minister's meeting with JAKIM's top management today, and Datuk Seri Anwar said the meeting focused on various issues related to Islamic affairs in the country, including the halal sector. Well, he said this platform is vital considering the latest developments, especially regarding the economic prospects of the halal industry, both domestically and internationally. Well, it calls for collaboration among federal agencies to enhance Malaysia's halal industry. The Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry, or KPDN, is currently reviewing all registrations of parent and subsidiary companies of GISB Holdings Sendirian Berhad, or GISBH. Now, Minister Dato' Armizan Muhammad Ali stated that a review is being conducted by the Companies Commission of Malaysia, that is SSM, including compliance with the submission of annual reports and financial statements, as well as everything related. He stated that the company involved would face cancellation if it violated public interests and current regulations.
Pada peringkat ini, siasatan utama itu dilakukan oleh PDRM dan kita melihat daripada aspek pematuhan kepada Undang-Undang Tadbir Urus Syarikat dan kita bekerjasama rapat dengan PDRM untuk melengkapkan siasatan.
He said this to reporters after attending the opening ceremony of Menara SSM Perak in Ipoh today. Earlier, the Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, graced the event to officiate the tower's opening. Dato' Armizan said KPDN is also collaborating with the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, to monitor the promotion of GISBH-related products online or through other mediums. He stated that if there is non-compliance, the ministry will make an official report to the MCMC so that appropriate action can be taken. Well, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has extended a special aid of 500 ringgit each to 202 heads of households affected by the floods in Pulau Pinang last week. The contribution was presented by his senior political secretary, Datuk Seri Samsul Iskandar Muhammad Akin, at a ceremony at Dewan Besar Sungai Dua in Butterworth today. Datuk Seri Samsul Iskandar said that, in addition, the 202 families who were registered with temporary relief centres, or PPS, particularly from Seberang Perai Selatan, Seberang Perai Utara and Seberang Perai Tengah, will also receive 1,000 ringgit each from the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA.
Dan kesemuanya, setiap keluarga yang terkesan dengan bencana banjir ini akan mendapat RM1,500. Dan tentunya ini menunjukkan bahawa Perdana Menteri dan kerajaan sangat prihatin dan terkesan dengan mereka yang diuji dengan musibah banjir ini.
He said this to reporters after distributing the aid at the event, which was also attended by State Social Development, Welfare and Non-Islamic Affairs Committee Chairman Lim Siew Kim. A total of 11 PPS were opened from the 17th to the 21st of September following the floods, accommodating 760 people from 202 families. All of them returned to their homes last Saturday. Well, early voting for the Mahkota State Assembly by-election concluded at 5 p.m. with the closing of 3 polling stations. And they were Dewan Mahkota at Kem Mahkota, Dewan Pengaman Zamrud at the Kluang District Police Headquarters Housing Complex, and Sekolah Kebangsaan Sultan Sir Ibrahim. Now, based on the Election Commission, the EC's data, the Mahkota constituency located within the Kluang parliamentary area has 66,318 registered voters. Now, the early voting involves 4,510 military personnel and their spouses, as well as 401 police officers. In a statement today, the EC reported that 93.17% of early voters had cast their ballots as of 3 p.m. The Mahkota by-election is a straight contest between Barisan Nasional candidate Syed Hussein Syed Abdullah and Perikatan Nasional candidate Muhammad Haizan Jafar, with 20 polling stations set to open this Saturday. Now, it is being held following the death of the incumbent, Datuk Sharifah Aziza Said Zain, 63, on 2nd August, while she was receiving treatment at the Encik Besar Haja Kulthum Hospital. A retired civil servant lost 1.24 million ringgit after allegedly being scammed through a pre-initial public offering or IPO stock investment early June. Now, Johor Police Chief Dato' M. Kumar explained the 70-year-old man came across an advertisement on social media promoting an IPO stock investment that promised quick returns and high returns. Now, according to Dato' Kumar, the victim then contacted an individual via WhatsApp to obtain more information. And attracted by the offer, he made his first investment and received the promised returns in July, which led him to believe that the investment was legitimate. He was then promised higher returns if he increased his investment. The victim then made several payments amounting to 1.24 million ringgit into multiple accounts as instructed. He became suspicious after receiving no returns on his additional investments, but instead being pressured to invest more. The victim filed a police report yesterday, and the case is being investigated under Section 420 of the Penal Code. Coming up next, applications for Budi Agri commodity still low. Well, Malaysia will serve as the ASEAN chair next year, is committed to strengthening digital collaboration with member countries. Now, this is critical to driving economic growth and, as a result, improving the quality of life in the region's communities. He said the emphasis is on efforts to penetrate the vast Southeast Asian market, which has over 70 million SMEs.
Di dalam rantau ASEAN, banyak peluang perniagaan yang sekarang wujud dan juga akan wujud dalam masa depan, khususnya kalau kita menggunakan platform-platform, kerana platform ini membolehkan kita membuat perniagaan luar daripada negara. Ianya tidak terbatas dari segi sempadan dan sebagainya, tidak ada sempadannya.
The minister was met after officiating the next Big Tech Asia 2024 in Kuala Lumpur today. Gobin also urged Malaysian companies, including SMEs, to explore emerging technologies to further strengthen the nation's digital economy. He went on to express his confidence that Malaysia's digital economy will surpass the projected target of 25.5% of the nation's gross domestic product by the end of 2025. Well, the government received over 66,000 applications for the Budi Agri Commodity Initiative from smallholders across the country as of 20th September, 10,000 of which were appeal applications. However, the number is considered low compared to the estimated private smallholders recorded in the country. Plantation and Commodities Minister Dato' Sri Johari Abdul Ghani said the ministry has conducted 50 small-scale programs to increase registration for the Budi Agri Commodity Initiative, urging elected representatives across the country to engage with smallholders and ensure they do not miss out on the benefits provided by the government.
Ini bila kita turun ke bawah, beberapa program yang kita buat setiap negeri ini, kita nampak ada peningkatan yang besar. Di Johor ini, kita sepatutnya ada 46,000. Tapi di Johor ini, baru 1,000 lebih saja yang dapat. Jadi sebab tu kita turun ni, kita nak pastikan kita dapat dia orang ni, supaya kita boleh daftar dan bila dia orang balik, dia jumpa kawan-kawan pekebun kecil ni, dia tengok kawan dia dapat, nanti dia akan juga daftar.
The minister was met after launching the Budi Agri-Commodity Program with the Kloang community in Kampung Abdul Rahman Yassin. The Budi Agri-Commodity Program is one of the initiatives under the Madani Subsidy Assistance Program, which provides cash assistance of 200 ringgit each month. The cash aid is given to eligible smallholders of oil palm, rubber, cocoa, pepper and kanaf in Peninsular Malaysia registered under the ministry following the targeted diesel subsidy announcement. The National Sustainability Reporting Framework, or NSRF, which was launched today, will help companies to adopt globally aligned sustainability reporting standard. Now, Finance Minister too, Dato Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan, said the NSRF, aimed at enhancing sustainability disclosure by companies, marks another significant step in Malaysia's commitment to integrate sustainability into the core of its economic development.
It addresses the information needs of investors and financiers to help with capital allocation decisions and, more importantly, promote economic prosperity, which is aligned with environmental stewardship and social responsibility. Investors are evaluating companies based on environmental impact, carbon footprint, waste management, to name a few, driven by the recognition that financial risks associated with environmental degradation must be mitigated.
The minister noted that a key outcome from the NSRF is to support the ease of doing business with respect to sustainability reporting. The NSRF was developed by the Advisory Committee on Sustainability Reporting, which was formed last year with the support of the Finance Ministry. And chaired by Securities Commission of Malaysia, the committee comprises the Audit Oversight Board, Bank Negara Malaysia, Bursa Malaysia, Companies Commission of Malaysia, and the Financial Reporting Foundation. Well, Exim Bank has launched its Exim Green Global Initiative, committing to mobilize up to 1.5 billion ringgit in sustainable financing by the year 2027. So this initiative aims to foster environmental stewardship by funding impactful green projects. Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Tengku Dato Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz said the initiative aligns with the third mission of the new Industrial Master Plan 2030, Push for Net Zero.
I think this initiative by Exim Bank Green Global Initiative is important as Malaysian companies now are slowly slowly having to meet certain standards by many markets and where our SMEs have to meet the sustainable goals, SDGs, etc. But what's important is we need to prepare them. One of the main challenges is when it comes to financing, as they need to build in terms of capacity building, investment in the transitioning towards green for the industries.
Well, under the Exim Green Global Initiative, the bank would provide specialized assistance to clients, helping them measure and manage their carbon footprint through the Exim Carbon Calculation Advisory Support, also known as CCAS. Well, additionally, the initiative will offer an incentive of up to 10,000 ringgit to cover financing-related fees when clients apply for green financing with Exim Bank. Malaysia recorded the arrival of 4.5 million Muslim tourists, generating 14.7 billion ringgit last year in revenue. The Islamic Tourist Centre, or the ITC Director General, Nizran Nordin, said this proved that Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality have significant economic potential in the country. While speaking to Bernama TV, Nizran said based on data, the global population includes 2 billion Muslims, with 1.1 billion residing in member countries of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, or OIC, and Intergovernmental Organization, with 57 Muslim countries worldwide. He added Global Muslim Travel Index projected that in 2028, the travel market will be led by 230 million Muslims, generating spending of $225 billion US. To promote the sector, ITC provides Muslim-friendly tourism and hospitality assurance and recognition for accommodations and approximately 220 Muslim-friendly tourist guides. ITC is also organizing Islamic Tourism Month program until 30th September, offering accommodation deals, travel packages, mosque tourism, beauty and spa services, events and exhibitions, among other things. Malaysia witnessed encouraging economic performance in July, with the leading index registering 5.2%, reaching 115.5 points as compared to 109.4 points in the same month of the previous year. Well, according to Chief Statistician Dato' Sri Muhammad Uzair Mahidin, the growth was driven by the real imports of semiconductors, which surged by 36.7%, and the Bursa Malaysia Industrial Index rose by 35.4%. Now, at the smooth long-term trend in July, leading index consistently exceeded 100 points, illustrating a resilient Malaysian economy supported by positive expansion in domestic consumption and continued demand by external markets. Meanwhile, Dato' Sri Muhammad Uzair said the coincident index also demonstrated consistent growth, with an increase of 2.8% in July, reaching 127.3 points, while the overall increase is attributed to improvement across all components. Meanwhile, Affin Bank Berhad expects Malaysia's gross domestic product, or GDP, growth to remain healthy at 5% this year and 5.2% next year, amidst the low possibility of a global recession. The Group Chief Economist Ellen Tan Chiu Leong noted that as an open economy, Malaysia is poised to benefit from improved external development, in line with the International Monetary Fund's global growth projection of 3.2% in 2024 and 3.3% in 2025. Now, Tan said the key macroeconomic indicators are not pointing towards a global recession this year or next, saying there is only a 20% probability of one occurring. However, he warned that potential risks that could trigger recession risks include a U.S. economic contraction and China's GDP falling below 5%, which could bring global growth below 3%. Well, he pointed out that the IMF projects the U.S. and China, which is the two largest contributors to global GDP, will grow at 2.6% and 5% respectively this year. So, on the ringgit, which has benefited from the U.S. Federal Reserve's recent interest rate cut, well, Tan expects it to hover at the 4 ringgit and 20 cent level against the greenback at the end of 2024. And he said there may be another 50 basis points cut by year-end and more next year, which should favor the ringgit. Budget 2025, to be tabled on 18 October, is expected to be, or rather expected to strike, a balanced approach, combining fiscal sustainability with initiatives to drive economic development. So RHB Investment Bank Berhad said the budget is likely to address immediate economic needs, which is including enhancing fiscal sustainability and strengthening the social safety net, while also laying the groundwork for future growth. So central to its strategy will be an emphasis on infrastructure improvements, fostering innovation and supporting key industries. And with reference to recent developments, the investment bank anticipates 4 key prongs that may be addressed in Budget 2025, including fiscal responsibility and debt management, economic stimulus and infrastructure development, social welfare and inclusivity, and lastly, the business and investment climate. Regarding macroeconomic projections, the bank expects gross domestic product growth to remain within a range of 4% to 5%, with inflation targeted between 2.5% and 3.5%. Domestically, the bank remains optimistic about Malaysia's private consumption growth, buoyed by strong labour market conditions. It said continued expansion in consumer spending and improved tourism activities are expected to bolster growth in the services sector, particularly in accommodation and restaurants. The Sarawak's Premier's office today confirmed that no legal action is being contemplated by Petronas against the Sarawak government and its oil and gas company, Petroleum Sarawak Berhad, or known as Petros. Well, it said this in a joint statement issued after a meeting between the Sarawak government, Petronas, and Petros with Sarawak Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunoping today. Well, the meeting was attended by Petronas President and Group Chief Executive Officer Tan Sri Tengku Muhammad Taufik Tengku Aziz, Petros Chief Executive Officer Dato' Janin Giri, and Sarawak State Secretary Dato' Amar Abu Bakar Marzuki. The statement said it is confirmed that no legal action is being contemplated by Petronas against Sarawak and Petros, adding all parties respect and abide by federal and state laws regarding this matter. Well, it added that the Sarawak government as well as Petronas and Petros had confirmed that discussions regarding gas distribution in Sarawak are ongoing between the parties and are to be concluded soon. Singapore court convicts ex-minister of 5 charges in rare graft trial. Foreign front. Well, Singapore's Supreme Court today convicted former Transport Minister S. Iswaran of 5 charges in a rare graft trial involving a state official in the Asian financial hub. Iswaran, 62, initially faced 35 criminal charges, including 2 counts of corruption for alleged favours received while in office. In a surprise move at the start of proceedings on Tuesday, prosecutors dropped the corruption charges and proceeded with 5 charges, down from 35, with the remaining 30 charges to be taken into consideration for sentencing. Iswaran pleaded guilty on Tuesday to 4 counts of obtaining valuable items and 1 count of obstructing the course of justice. Iswaran, who joined the cabinet in 2006, is the first Singaporean minister to be tried in court on graft charges. He was arrested in July last year and was accused of taking kickbacks worth hundreds of thousands of dollars from property tycoon Ong Beng Seng. Iswaran was advisor to the Singapore Formula One Grand Prix Steering Committee, while Ong owns the rights to the race. The High Court judge said Iswaran would be sentenced on 3rd October. Well, Sri Lanka's new leftist president appointed his cabinet on Tuesday ahead of an expected snap parliamentary election as he prepares to renegotiate the bankrupt island nation's unpopular International Monetary Fund bailout program. Anura Kamura Disayanayaka of the People's Liberation Front, or JVP, was sworn into office on Monday after a landslide win in weekend presidential polls. Now, on Tuesday, his office announced the appointment of lawmaker Harini Amarasuriya, 54, as premier with the additional portfolios of justice, education, health and labour. Disanayaka's once marginal party currently has just 3 lawmakers in Sri Lanka's 225-member parliament. But support for the 55-year-old surged after a 2022 economic meltdown that immiserated millions of ordinary Sri Lankans and the painful implementation of the IMF rescue plan. Now, Sri Lanka's crisis proved an opportunity for Disanayaka, who saw his popularity rise after pledging to change the island's corrupt political culture. The IMF offered its congratulations to Disanayaka on Monday, saying it was ready to discuss the future of the rescue plan. Coming up in sports, Zijia moves down. Zifei and Izzuddin go up and... Well, Li Zijia has lost his world number 3 ranking on the back of his early exit at the China Open last week. And in the latest rankings released by the Badminton World Federation of BWF, the Kedahan dropped 2 spots to number 5. However, the former All-England winner said he has been struggling with his condition post-Paris Olympics. Zija is hoping to make a comeback at the Arctic Open in Finland, scheduled to be held from the 8th to the 13th of October. The biggest improvement was by professional men's pair Gozi Faye and Nur Izzuddin Rumsani, who soared to number 8 from 12. The pair, who left the national setup on 1st September, have shown a surge in form, winning the Japan and China Opens recently. Men's pair Aeronal mixed doubles Goh Sun Hwan and Chebon Lai, meanwhile, went up 2 places to 10th after their runners-up finish at the China Open last week. After making history, winning the Hong Kong Open, women's pair Pearly Tan and M. Tinaa's world number 8 ranking remains unchanged. The Malaysians in the final defeated China's Tan Ning and Liu Shengsu 21-14, 21-14 to confirm victory after just 38 minutes. And on to football. Well, Malaysia were held to a scoreless draw by 10-player North Korea in an AFC Under-20 Asian Cup 2025 football qualifier at the Republican Central Stadium in Dushanbe, Tajikistan on Monday. The Group E leaders, North Korea, came into the match on the back of a commanding 4-0 victory over Sri Lanka on Saturday. Now, after downing Oman on Saturday, Malaysia have held North Korea to a scoreless draw in their Group H outing. Malaysia's best opportunity came in the 66th minute when a foul by North Korea's Jong Eun-hyuk on Haikal Danish resulted in a free kick. Well, the challenge also earned Eun-hyuk his 2nd yellow card of the match, and he was sent off. Well, despite having an extra player for the remaining 24 minutes, Harimau Muda were unable to break down the North Korean defense. Malaysia are 2nd in the group with 4 points, while North Korea topped the group with 4 points, but with a better goal difference. Harimau Muda will take on host nation Tajikistan next at the Pamir Stadium on Friday. Well, former world number 1 Rafael Nadal has been added to Spain's Davis Cup Final 8 squad. And according to organizers, the Spanish squad will also include world number 3 Carlos Alcaraz, Roberto Bautista Agut, Pablo Carreno Busta and Marcel Granollers. Now, Nadal, who held number 1 at the ATP rankings for 209 weeks in his career, has not competed since the Paris Olympics. While his doubles partner there, Alcaraz, won 2 of the 4 majors, that's Roland Garros and Wimbledon, this year. And they will try to secure glory for Spain. Last year, the team suffered a blow by not qualifying for the final phase. So this year, they aim to enjoy a different event full of history. 38-year-old Nadal last played at the Paris Olympics, where he lost to Novak Djokovic in the 2nd round. He then withdrew from the US Open and last weekend's Laver Cup due to fitness concerns. Well, French Open and Wimbledon winner Alcaraz will be Spain's key figure as they play the Netherlands in the quarterfinals beginning 19th November. Well, that's it from us this evening. In our top story, SSM reviewing GISBH subsidiaries' business registrations. And from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thanks for watching.